Hey guys, how you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all those around the world. Welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video featuring Tsareena coming through the jungle. Guys, I want to talk about this, man. I feel like this Pokemon is one of the least popular Pokemon to play in Pokemon Unite right now. Like, I rarely ever see her played. I rarely see people playing her. And I don't see a lot of people covering Tsareena. I don't know why. I just don't get it. When she came out, she was a menace, right? Like, everybody was playing Tsareena. She was doing so much damage, being OP, whatever, yada yada, right? Now, they changed her a little bit, like, just her damage-wise, and it's only to Axle Kick. That was it. They made your cooldown longer for your drop kick and stuff, and they made the slow shorter, all that sort of thing. But I've never favored drop kick in the first place. I've always favored Grassy Glide because it brings targets to your team that you guys can engage on. You know what I mean? It catches bad players out. And then I've always liked to run Stomp because it's pretty much like a mini stun where you're unable to act for a short second or so. You know what I mean? It's just has so much viability. But the last couple patches we've gotten, Tsareena hasn't gotten any love. She hasn't gotten any nerfs. It's just been bug fixes per se. Right? January 26th was the last time we got a patch for Tsareena. That was a long time ago. Now you think about it, considering how many other Pokemon got changed or buffs or whatever since then. She hasn't gotten anything since then. And I know there's a lot of other Pokemon who are kind of in her same situation, but at the same time, she used to dominate solo queue, dominate rank play, dominate groups. She used to dominate everything she was in because she was in every single game because she did so much work. You know what I mean? But again, now I don't see her as often. I still like to think that she is super strong, especially in the right hands from a competent player or in a very, very good team comp setup. She does a lot of work. Let alone, it's like you don't have to go for, like, I gotta do the most damage on the team. It's not even like that, bro. You walk into a team fight, you gank a lane, you Grassy Glide one or two targets, and then you just stomp them into the ground. Or your team and you stomp them into the ground. You drop a slow smoke, and then what do? You stomp them into the ground. It's just like, slow smoke stomp with Tsareena is so good, let alone everybody's running slow smoke. So once you glide somebody into your squad, you just drop slow smoke. They can't leave because they're slowed down on top of stomp and your team beating them. Well, I don't get it. That is so much value in itself. Let alone at these team fights when you're fighting with Tsareena and choke points at objectives, you can win these 1v3s. Like, you really can win a lot of 1v3 trades. And a lot of people don't get it. She does a lot of damage, and sometimes you only need, like, help from a little bit of support. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of support. That's it. Now, her weaknesses, they don't come through as much as other Pokemon. She doesn't have that many, because she can kite you out, because she can catch you. She has really short cooldowns at the end of the day. You could argue what really hinders her is crowd control. But doesn't crowd control hinder pretty much every Pokemon in the game? You know what I mean? Like, that's one of her weaknesses in general is crowd control. But again, that affects everybody, not just her. So what's the problem? I don't get it. What is the problem? Now, we do have other Pokemon running around in the metagame right now. We have Cinderace. We got Venusaur, in which Venusaur hasn't received a nerf in a very long time. And I'm starting to think that people in the office are Venusaur mains. Starting to think people in the office are Lucario mains. You know what I mean? But that's okay. Just show other Pokemon some love so we can get them back in the game more often than they are now. You know? Like, we see Pikachu a lot more now because he got buffed. And now he's S tier for a lot of people. Like, he's up there. He's a god tier Pokemon right now. For the right reasons, right? Because he needed some love, and now he got it. And look where he's at. People are finally realizing how strong Pikachu is. It's just one of those ordeals. Where, in a teamfight situation, generally speaking, if somebody catches you out, right, your team capitalizes on that, and what do? You get value out of that, right? Because they got caught out. Grassy Glide just does just that. Even if it's only one or two targets, you're collecting, essentially. You're winning that fight, you're getting the value, you're getting the trade. Now, I will argue with you that Tsareena's jungle in the early game is not the greatest, right? It's not the greatest until you're able to pick up Stomp, but even then, just walking into a lane and having to stomp down on these is not always ideal, but I think it's a lot better than Axle Kick in my opinion, just because it gives you that AoE pressure, it gives you that AoE presence of I have like a mini stun per se with Stomp. So you have that going for you. Depending on what lane you decide to gank at bees, I think she's still viable no matter which one you decide to go with. Now, in a team composition where you're playing in the stack, you're playing in a trio or 4-stack, 5-stack, whatever you want to call it, I think she shines a lot more. Because in the solo queue world, when you're playing Tsareena, you initiate in a team fight with Grassy Glide, for instance. You catch 1 or 2 targets, you hope your team follows up with you because you're going in, right? When you go in, you're going in, right? And your team doesn't follow up, then you just get deleted. I mean, that's pretty much the same with every other Pokemon. Even Blastoise, when he surfs into a team fight, and he's like, guys, got my Unite move, claps his Unite, his team's nowhere to be found. It happens with pretty much everybody. But it feels really bad with certain Pokemon, you know what I mean? I think Tsareena is one of those Pokemon where when she goes in, she is in, guys, and she's ready to do damage. She needs that follow-up. Not necessarily, because like I said, you can 1v3, and it's very easy to 1v3 as Tsareena as long as you manage your cooldowns properly. And you might argue, well, I mean, how hard is it to spam Stomp? How hard is it to spam Axle Kick? Well, apparently, if it was so easy, she'd be so much higher up on a lot of people's tier list, metagame choices, all this sort of thing. That's just what I think. But each their own, you know what I mean? Whereas Venusaur is S tier, still S tier, like it has been for a long time. And you literally just spam Pedal Dance to run it. You know what I mean? He gets value out of that. He doesn't have to spam any abilities, really. Just presses one button when he's inside of a team fight and in between auto attacks. So, I mean, he must be the most simplistic Pokemon so far to play in this game right now. But either way, man, I'm having fun playing Tsareena still, and I think she's going to be still viable when it comes to these team compositions, when it comes to these tournaments that we're doing here for North America, when it comes to solo queue, group play, 5-stack, whatever. I still think she's going to be really, really solid to play. I just wish we see more of it. You know, that'd be great. Now, at the end of the day, there's a new Pokemon coming to Pokemon Unite. You know, we're getting new Pokemon pretty much every month, which is very, very exciting. We're getting Dorolomon, right? Yeah, I think that's how you say his name. The Steel Dragon type Pokemon, in which looks like a skyscraper. I don't know who's super excited about it. I mean, low-key, I'm kind of excited about it because it's a new Pokemon. You know, I like seeing new Pokemon in the game. It changes the meta generally every time because people are trying out new things, trying new synergies, all this sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a Steel Dragon that looks like a skyscraper. And my thought is, how are they going to make skins? Or, not skins, sorry, Hollowware for that Pokemon? What are they going to do for him? Like, just change his color blocks or something? I'm interested to see. Like, I'm pretty excited. I wonder what's going to happen. But with that new patch coming up this month, I'm hoping we're going to get some changes to some of the Pokemon that are currently in the game. That'd be kind of nice. But either way, we are going to dive into game number 2 with Tsareena. And I'll see you guys in a split second. Hey there guys, how you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to others around the world. Welcome back to game number 2 featuring Tsareena coming through the jungle. Again, we are having a blast playing this Pokemon. I'm still happy that there's some people that are still playing Tsareena. And hats off to you guys, you know, keep playing this Pokemon. Keep getting better with this Pokemon, because I still think this Pokemon is able to carry you up in your ranks, carry you up in your games, have a good time with Tsareena. She's still viable, guys. Really is. Really still viable. Even though Hoopa's in the game now. And truth be told, I'm sure a lot of you have not seen a very good Hoopa player yet in your games, particularly. I think it's coming. I mean, we do have a nice sit down when it comes to Hoopa coming up in my next video, because there's a lot of weaknesses that Hoopa has that I don't think people are thinking about right now. I don't think people are covering. I don't think some people might have covered it already, maybe. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of things wrong with that Pokemon. And I'm going to throw it out there later on today, or tomorrow, what have you. And we're going to talk about it. But, at the end of the day, today we're playing Tsareena in game number 2. For those of you that enjoy playing this Pokemon, or you know, looking to get better with this Pokemon, what have you. All I can tell you right now is stop believing that she's bad. Stop listening to everybody else and tell it when they say that she's bad. You know what I mean? If this is your favorite Pokemon to play and you enjoy playing Tsareena, play Tsareena. She is definitely going to be super viable right now in the hands of a good player. Now, at the end of the day, she does, like I said, bring a lot to your team composition. And that's the best part about this Pokemon. It's not the fact that, oh my god, she does so much damage, no counterplay. It's not that. Because people will argue that all the time when it comes to this Pokemon. It's the fact that you can make catches for your team. And what I mean by catches is meaning if you're playing Grassy Glide, you're able to initiate a fight. You don't have to wait for your, per se, tank to go in. Because we know how rare that is in solo queue. We know how rare that is in competitive play. We know how rare that is in everything. If you're not in the Discord chat, for instance, you're not communicating, it's super rare for your initiator, your tank or whatever, to initiate a fight, for instance. So by being Tsareena, you already have the tools to go in. You know what I mean? You have the Grassy Glide, you have the Trop Side. As soon as you initiate a fight, your team either follows you or they don't, right? 9 out of 10, if they follow you, what happens? You're going to get value out of it. Because when she's in, she's in. And that's just the way I like to look at when I'm playing Tsareena. I know 9 out of 10 that doesn't happen all the time because, like I said, when you're playing with randoms, you're playing in solo queue, or when you're playing in a group, it's much easier to be successful when you're playing in a group. Why? Because you're communicating. You know what I'm saying? But solo queue environment, playing Tsareena, Pokemon is still an absolute nightmare. Because you gotta keep in mind this. That was a very nice teleport, by the way. Good job, buddy. It's just one of those things where, in a solo queue world, when you're playing Tsareena, if you get a catch on any target on the enemy team, it's more likely than you think. You know why? Because enemy players, enemy teams, they like making mistakes. Just like you do. Everyone makes mistakes. But at the same time, let's say you're behind, right? And you get a catch on Tsareena. Because the enemy team is overzealous, they're overconfident, they get caught out. That's just going to put you further ahead with your Pokemon. Because you got a catch. And that's what you want to look for when you're playing this Pokemon. You want to look for catches, look for your engagements when you're playing Tsareena. Now, like I said before, at the end of the day, she does have weaknesses just like every other Pokemon in the game. But a lot of people like to think her biggest weakness is crowd control. But isn't that Absol's biggest weakness? Isn't that one of Gengar's biggest weaknesses? Let alone him being squishy. But a lot of Pokemon's biggest weaknesses is crowd control. So you can't hold that against Tsareena. You know what I mean? Just because she's weak against crowd control doesn't mean she's bad. Everyone's weak against that, right? So, like, what is it then? Why is it that we don't see Tsareena that often? It's not that she's a bad Pokemon. Not at all. Not by far. So there must be something I'm missing that I don't see that someone else does when it comes to Tsareena. But she's not played that often. And that's weird. Maybe it's just because she's not a fan favorite? I'm not sure. But either way, for the ones that are out here that are playing Tsareena, hats off to you guys. I appreciate it. I respect it. I'm glad I could see some Tsareenas in Pokemon Unite. Because like I said, I enjoy this Pokemon. I think she's really, really good. And those of you guys love to see it, hate to see it when you see this Pokemon. But what are you going to do? Like, I mean, what are we going to do? We still get Decidueye in our games. You know? Just like I tried to cover, what was it, the other day about Decidueye? Where I was saying he's a little bit underrated. I did get a nice comment in that video, which made complete sense to me. It was actually something I didn't think about. Where when something is overrated, for instance, where you could argue Decidueye is overrated, meaning everybody and their brother generally wants to play Decidueye, but they're not realizing how bad Decidueye actually is. You know what I mean? It goes both ways, right? It was a little weird, and I was like, well, you know what? I never thought of it like that. Instead of being per se underrated, because he is a good Pokemon in the right hands when you're playing position or you're doing all that sort of thing. You know what I mean? But other than that, just play Cinderace. It was a little weird. Right now, when it comes to Tsareena and Smoke, considering the meta is slow Smoke, essentially, you also got to keep in mind this. You drive into a team fight, Grassy Glide, Trop Slide, doesn't matter. You get up in there, you drop a slow Smoke, and then you just stomp people into the ground. So it's literally just a slow Smoke stomp. They're not going anywhere. They can't run from you. They can't get out of the engagement unless they have X speed, and 9 out of 10, I think a lot of people aren't even thinking about how good X speed is versus slow Smoke, because it counters it, you know what I mean? But considering people don't run that ability, some of them are running full heal, whatever, it doesn't matter, because once full heal runs off, you get another Grassy Glide, you get another Trop Slide, you can throw another slow Smoke. Where are you going? You know what I mean? Once she catches you, she catches you. At the end of the day. And she still does massive damage, regardless if you're running Axle Kick or Stomp. I think in the beginning, when she came out, everybody and their brother was playing Axle Kick, right? Because it was literally just spam Axle Kick, you get a little bit of value, you get some lifesteal, or whatever. And people complained about it. So they nerfed Axle Kick a little bit. And ever since pretty much, what, January 26th, I think? She hasn't really received any love. And it's been a while. And now we don't see her as often. It's crazy. But either way, this has been Pawseplays. Hopefully you guys do enjoy Tsareena. If not, give her a shot. Either way, I will catch you guys in my very next Pokemon Unite video. Stay tuned to the Discord. Stay tuned to the YouTubes. That way you guys know when my content goes live. I'm here pretty much every day uploading videos, you know, just like a normal person. Maybe a little bit too much, but you know, it's fine. It's all good. I'm having fun playing Pokemon Unite. I know you guys are too. Shout out to the community in the Discord who get together every single day. Morning, evening, night, don't matter. We all sit together, we play games, we joke and talk, whatever. Thank you guys for being around. Appreciate you guys for all the love and support in the videos as of late. Y'all take care. I will catch y'all in the very next video. I'ma head out.